It was going to happen until the contract came about and said I wasn't getting paid any money. I've never fought for free, and since UFC 13, any money that was made from that fight, it was a 50-50 cut. And then when it came about to sign the contract, he said, no, we're not doing that. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm not doing it then. And he continued on saying he was training, he was doing this, doing that, and don't sit on scale saying Tito's a no-show, he's afraid to fight me, which is exactly what it is. People take kindness for weakness.
I'm like, I'm not weak, I promise, but I do feel like I'm weak.
Oh, you're just kind. And people take advantage of that situation, which is bad because there's a lot of dishonest people out there. And, you know, at the end of the day, when I got to look in the mirror and I brush my teeth, I don't have a big entourage around me. It's me. I got to go, Tito, are you be a good man today? Yes.
Yeah. If you go to Walmart, if you go to whatever, do you look behind your back to see if somebody's there that you feel like, oh, I screwed them over? Like,
I never
having that
feeling when I go to bed and I can sleep with my head on my pillow and not have to worry about anything.
Best.
Like no one's gonna get me back for something I did to them because I never slipped anybody to get ahead. I've always been honest. I'm an honest man, and people talked a lot of shit about me, but there are haters and there are people that just couldn't achieve what I've achieved in my life, and they hate me because of it. And it's fine. I mean, there's people who don't even compete and they hate on me and they don't even know me. They never even met me. And if they did meet me, then they would be like thinking a lot different because people in my restaurant now, they come in, like I say, I mean, there's 150 a day that come into my restaurant, 300 sometimes. They come to my restaurant, and they talk with me, they're like, you are completely different than what I ever expected. I'm like, I'm a real guy, man. I work hard, I bust my ass. I'm in this restaurant 5 days a week, 8 hours every time, and I try to push myself and do all the work. I mean, I'm busting tables, serving food, cooking food, pouring drinks. I mean, I do it all. I do everything. And then I got to lead by example. And the team I have at Tito's Cantina is a phenomenal team. Every one of them, the girls, the guys, everybody, to the bartenders, to the cooks, they work their asses off, and it's good. You know, one of my general managers, Michelle Pena, he's just a hard worker. And he's from Mexico City, and he's like a hard worker. And all the way down to my dishwasher, he's an amazing guy, and he works his ass off. And he's like, God, I think he's 70 years old, and he busts his ass.
I love it.
I mean, all the way down to the girls, to the servers. I mean, they do a phenomenal job. But we're like a family, and they don't work for me. We work together, and that's the way I want them to understand.
And I feel like that's why we really unified around the United Fight League is our fighters. We fight together. We don't, like, fighters don't fight for UFL. Everybody has a share in the company. You help us build this, it's going to take care of you. And I feel like we've shared that mentality for a lot of things, and that's why your restaurant is thriving.
Yes.
And I can't wait to finally get there because I mean, it was so cool to hear that. Hey, this is an idea as you're moving over there, and just watching you over the last couple of years, it's like such a rewarding feeling that I haven't even seen in person, and so I got to change that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing my second one. So I'm gonna franchise it out.
Where would be the next?
Either was it Port Charlotte or Naples? Yeah, one of those
still
two.
Florida?
Oh, I'm staying in Florida. I'm not going anywhere.
Beautiful.
I'm all in Florida. Everything's gonna be in Florida.
But I feel like Tito's Cantina, that could go everywhere.
Everywhere.
So
yeah, I can franchise it everywhere. It's just and so people understand there's no conflict. There's no interest of Tito's vodka compared to Tito's Cantina.
Sure.
And there's no relation at all. And I'll say it right now.
Sponsorship.
There's zero relation between Tito's Cantina and Tito's vodka. I have gone back and forth with those guys. I had to almost be sued, and I had to apply or agree to certain trademarking. And once again, it's Tito's Cantina Bar and Grill. We serve food, we serve drinks, but number one is our food.
Negotiate like a coexistence?
Yes.
I did that with UFL.
I had to battle. I battled for over 5 months with it.
Was there any cash consideration for it? If you're not allowed to tell you.
I for a situation, it was for a second, but then I was able to get away with. They levered, said, okay, you can use this for this. So I'm staying in Florida.
You carved out the resident, like the restaurant type thing.
Yes.
So I am excited to tell this story. The Rock came when he was having XFL merge with USFL. They wanted to do UFL for the United Fight League. And so they had to come to me because I owned the trademark of UFL for sports. And I said, absolutely, let's negotiate obviously I could charge a ton of money for this coexistence, like a licensing deal, pay yearly, whatever. Or you can give me just a small amount of cash and let's share celebrities. Let's share promotion. Let's not that we would confuse UFLs, but let's say, the freaking Rock comes to a UFL event. That's worth a lot of money. So I said, let's do that. So I give them an incredible deal, cash consideration wise. The second we signed the contract, and crickets, there's no cross promoting, there's no whatever. And so going back to the contract, it's like terribly, terribly written where everything's super vague and ambiguous on what is co-promoting and what's what. So love you, Rock. I don't know if it was you or if it was your team, lawyers, but I feel pretty bummed that was my experience doing business with you. And so every time
it's most likely his team.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But UFL, every time I see it on Fox, on everything, I freaking sold that logo. And like I said, I could have sold it for ridiculous amounts of money, but I was trying to be a team player and think outside the box. Shame.
Hopefully that contract had a date on it, so when it's over.
Yeah, we're still working. We're still.
Oh, good luck on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. When good people talk through things, hopefully, I've seen that when good people talk in good faith, things can be found to reach. Right. But fingers crossed. So everybody knows the Tito Dana build up, the bad blood, the boxing fight that never happened, the whatnot. But I never knew there actually was an altercation in a private airplane. Are you comfortable talking about that, or is that even real?
Yeah, no, it is. We were playing around. It was wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, we're drinking all night, so we had to get up in the morning and get on a flight to Japan. We're flying up to Alaska first, and then from Alaska to Japan, and we were playing around. I choked the shit out of him. But once again, we're just playing around. We're having fun, and it was an altercation. I heard,
what I read, it was the Fertitta brothers had to separate you guys. Everything.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. It was laughing. Like I said, we're good friends at that time, man.
Oh, good.
It wasn't a hostility, like I'm trying to kill you type of mentality. It was just playing around.
It wasn't a mile-high UFC match.
No, it wasn't that bad. I think they kind of overstated a lot of things. I just choked the shit out, and that was it.
That's it.
I was just wrestling with him. It was no punches thrown. He said he was punching me in the body. He never punched me. He never punched me at all.
I was going to say, because, private jets aren't.
Yeah, you're in a G5. I mean, it's.
Okay, so there was some room.
Oh, there's a lot of room. Yeah, a lot of room.
I was like, the private jets that I fly in, being able to get in a fight, you're pretty. You're like doing phone booth fights.
No, it's 16-seater. It's nice, really nice plane.
Big enough to choke somebody up.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's really fun because I never heard about that story, and so when I was like, I gotta ask Tito about it. So.
Nah, it wasn't as much as they talked about it was.
Was the boxing match between you and Dana ever really a possibility?
It was gonna happen until the contract came about and said I wasn't getting paid any money. I've never fought for free since UFC 13. At that time, any money that was made from that fight, it was a 50-50 cut. And that's what we agreed upon. And then when it came about to sign the contract, he said, no, we're not doing that. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm not doing it then. And then that was a month before the fight was even supposed to happen. And he continued on saying he was training, he was doing this, doing that. And I just was like, don't sit on scales saying Tito's a no-show, he's afraid to fight me, which is exactly what they did.
That is exactly what he did.
Yeah, and showed him training, showed him flying in his jet. It was an opportunity for him to get clout, to be bigger and badder than what he was. And smart on his part.
Smart on his part. It wasted 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back because I was like, when are they finally going to fight? When are they going to? But you and Chuck not only trained together, you guys had your come up together. There was actually a time when you were in London together, and there's so many back and forth stories with a Lee Murray, and that's the guy who is in prison for one of the biggest heists. Some of the story was that you guys fought, that you actually got knocked down, but that Chuck knocked 5 guys out or all these things. I want to hear your side of the story because obviously he's in prison. I don't know how to talk to that guy.
Yeah, so it was at China White in London, which is a big nightclub. It was after one of the UFC events. I just had ACL replacement in my right knee. And I remember flying there, and I put my leg up on the seat in front of me, and the guy's all, I'm not going to look at your foot the whole way to London. I go, well, don't look at my foot then. We go to party that night.
Was that him?
No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was just some other guy. But something like my knee wasn't 100%. I mean, I just coming out of therapy, and I was just starting to walk on it. We went to the UFC event, had a great time. Went to China White. We partied. All the green card girls are hanging out with us, and Lee Murray and all those boys. They were with Pat Miletich. There's a couple other guys. I forget their names. And they were kind of hateful on us because all the chicks are with us. I mean, my wife now, Amber, was there, and a few of the other girls.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that was back then. And we went to go leave. Club was closed. Went to go leave, and one of my friends, Bo, jumped on Pat Miletich's back. And we're friends, like Pat Miletich and all of us were friends. And he like, get off me, Bo, and like pulled him off. Well, one of who was it? Pat Miletich's friends punches Bo and knocks Bo out on the street in front of me as I'm walking out. And this is my best friend that gets knocked down. I'm like, what the fuck? I pushed him, and it was Lee Murray. And he punched me, and I punched him, and he like ran to the right of the club. I started chasing after him, and I was in a suit and dress shoes, and he stopped, posted, and I went to go stop. My feet slid, and I slid right into him. Hit me with the right hand, dropped me. I got up, and I clinched him, kneed him a couple times. Then the cops came and broke us apart, and that was pretty much it.
So what caused was it because he thought that Bo was like attacking Pat?
Yeah, that's what he thought. Yeah, and they were just...
Oh, shoot.
They were hating on us because of the attention we were getting in the club. I think that's what it was.
Did Pat ever tell whatever his name was? He's like, hey, that actually wasn't...
I don't remember. I mean, I really don't care. I don't think so. And like I said, it's behind me. You know, that guy's doing prison time. Too bad for him. You know, he had an opportunity to fight in the UFC, but when you're a criminal, you do stupid things like that, stupid things happen.
Yeah. So was it a bank heist? Do we know?
Yeah, it was a bank heist. I think it was over, almost 30 million euro, 30 million. I think.
Good heck.
Yeah, it was the biggest heist in Europe history.
I mean, that's gangster.
That's gangster. Like I say, and there's been a lot of people who reached out to me trying to find a story and just trying to talk about it. And I really don't want to associate with it because once again, it's behind me now.
Yeah, I don't mean to bring this was just news to me, so I know I'm behind the curve. So I don't mean to bring it up again because it sounds like something that everybody would want to hear about. So sorry to bring it up again.
No, that's cool.
Are there any street fights, you know, whether like that or even when you were younger, that people just don't know about that you've never told about?
Yeah, I'd say right before I fought Vanderlei Silva for the world title, I got in a fight with 3 skinheads, knocked out 2 of them, stomped on one guy's face, almost got hit in the head with a golf club. They ended up screaming, saying, just leave. I left, got arrested, ended up moving to Vegas for 2 months because I had to get ready for the Vanderlei Silva fight. Won the world title, came back, turned myself in, and did 59 days in jail.
No way.
Yeah.
How did that skirt under the radar?
Just one of those things. I was in 2-man cell for 59 days, and it sucked. And I never wanted to commit a crime ever again. So that's why I never fought on the street ever again.
What induced what escalated a...
So
You're a pretty even-keeled guy.
One of my buddies got punched in the face by some guy, and he came to the bar that I was at, and we're playing pool. He's like, these skinheads jumped me. I was like, let's go find them. So we went back, and the biggest guy that I seen, it was probably like 6'4", big skinny guy. He's like,
that's mine.
What are you pussies gonna do? And that was the first guy I hit. I hit him, then I hit another guy, and then we fell inside the house, and it was just like a melee. I mean, there was probably about 6 of us, about 15 of them. Knocked out 3 or 4 of the guys.
Any of them have to serve anything, or
no? It was because I was a UFC fighter.
Of course.
Yeah, I
dang it.
Make mistakes. I think you make little mistakes like that. You learn from things, and you'll never do them again. And that's what when it was a mistake.
Dang.